Coming up, the Grand Bahama Port Authority pulling their funding from teens located in the Children's Village. Also, another batch of business owners receiving financial assistance. And May I Call You Queen, the title of a new Bahamian book just for women. The Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition starts now.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
You're watching the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Good evening, all. I'm Shashina Wolf-Arkeson. As always, it is so great to have you with us. Topping news, the Grand Bahama Port Authority confirming that they will no longer fund the operation of Columbus House for teens located in the Children's Village. Columbus House has been a safe haven for displaced teens for almost 2 decades. Tonight, Megan Shepherd talks to the Minister of Social Services about the plan for Columbus House going forward.
It is known as the Grand Bahama Children's Village, and it was built by the Grand Bahama Port Authority under the patronage of Edward St. George and Lady Henrietta. The village is made up of the children's home for kids from newborn to 13 years old, the Pay Center for pregnant teens, which includes a school, a clinic, and a nursery, Genesis Academy, a second chance program, and Columbus House for children in their teens. Now, according to a statement issued to our ZNS News team, although the Grand Bahama Port Authority owns and maintains the buildings to keep the children safe, healthy, and comfortable, most of these entities are operated independently. The statement notes that in the past 15 years, the G.B.P.A. has tried to make the Columbus House model a sustainable one. However, they had concerns regarding the adolescents' oversight and had to make the very difficult decision to discontinue their strategic partnership for that particular teenage program. Now, our ZNS News team also spoke with the Minister of Social Services, the Honorable Frankie Campbell, regarding the severed partnership and the future of the teenagers.
The government of the Bahamas, through the Ministry of Social Services, continue to be responsible for all children that become ward of the state. We are pleased to partner with whosoever is willing to partner with us. But with or without partners, we will continue to assume our responsibility and do the best we can for those children.
Now, the port statement also notes that the entire village was severely damaged during the storm, with up to 4 feet of flooding, and that the children and teenagers had to be evacuated to Nassau while repairs are ongoing. Now, before Hurricane Dorian, there were 12 teenagers housed at Columbus House. Megan Shepherd, ZNS Network News.
Meantime, a local shipping company still experiencing challenges post-Hurricane Dorian. President and CEO of Falco, Glenn Fowler, is appealing to customers to be patient as the setbacks are beyond their control. Jamila Missick has that story.
President and CEO of Falco Limited, Glennette Fowler, says, unfortunately, there is an impression that things are back to normal post-Hurricane Dorian and persons are expecting a fast level of service, but like many other companies in the industry, they have been greatly affected. However, she says they are striving to work through the challenges incurred to better serve their customers.
Basically, during Dorian, we lost our major company software that allowed us to communicate with clients at ease. We also have not recovered our phone lines as yet, so we're still having communication challenges, as well as the fact that a lot of the shipping lines that we use for our ocean cargo, they're experiencing delays in cargo coming to Freeport and the other islands that we service due to the fact that there's an overlog of bulk items that need to come for hurricane relief and reconstruction. So unfortunately, business is not business as usual as yet.
She says in terms of the receiving process, there is a lot of paperwork required and many persons are not aware of the process, adding that since Customs is strengthening their borders and more regulations are now in place, they have to ensure that they are doing their due diligence and complying with the Customs and VAT department.
Each individual item that comes in has to be received at the U.S. location as well as inspected prior to its shipment outside of the country. Then it's trucked over to whether it's our air service in Fort Lauderdale or our ocean service at one of the shipping lines. And then from there, we have to clear customs, which is a lengthy process because they inspect each individual package. And then that is then received at inside our office or our warehouse in Freeport, and we then have to do a reinspection just to ensure that the item has actually arrived and it's ready to be given to customers, prepare the invoice, prepare the brokerage. So it is a tedious process in getting goods to Freeport or any island.
Now, recently, the Customs and Excise Department has increased its law enforcement efforts after noticing a saturation of companies acting as couriers and purchasing agents who are not properly regulated. And Fowler agrees that couriers and other like businesses should be regularized.
The business that we're in was basically where persons went away and picked up items for people, and then we turned it into an industry. However, when that happened, we did not set up our process as an industry correctly. And I think now that Customs is basically clamping down on what happens at the borders, we as an industry have to determine that we are going to regularize ourselves and allow us to do proper business so that our customers can get the proper service and that we can remain compliant with the organization of the Bahamas Customs Department.
Jamila Mizik, ZNS Network News.
Switching gears now, another batch of business owners receiving the government-funded business and tech grants. The successful candidates receiving a certificate and checks at the office of the Prime Minister Thursday afternoon. $10 million in funding have already been provided by the government to assist business owners, particularly those with small to medium-sized enterprises, with restoration efforts post-Hurricane Dorian. Yvette O'Connell, Director of the Small Business Development Center.
I'm looking forward to see great things for our future, and I believe in my heart, I believe in my spirit, and I've been praying just like many other people in Grand Bahama, and for what I see that is about to hit the island of Grand Bahama, it's going to be a new city. Yes. This will be a new city. I have seen a melting pot that is about to take place, that people will come from everywhere to help build the island of Grand Bahama. Don't trust me, but believe that God is real and we are about to see something that we have never seen before.
Minister of State for Grand Bahama, the Honorable Kwesi Thompson, also extending congratulations to the group, adding that brighter days are ahead for this island.
I want to congratulate each and every one of you who have been able to receive this award. We are going to be doing this on a regular basis, where we are going to be doing a number of these grants. Persons in Grand Bahama continue to need our assistance, and we will continue to do what we can to provide the necessary assistance for them, particularly when it comes to small businesses. And I endorse 100% what Ms. O'Connor said, that our best days are ahead of us.
In news from the crime beat, 3 Grand Bahamian men accused of stealing from homes over the bridge in East Lucayo were charged before the court today. Wearing the red striped shirt, 43-year-old Jermaine Ricky Mackey of Watlands Road, 33-year-old Emery Charlton of Spoonbill Loop is wearing the black hoodie, and 40-year-old John Anderson Williams of Baz Lane, he is wearing the red jacket. They are paired before Magistrate Charlton Smith. Now, they all face 5 counts of stealing and vagrancy. They pled not guilty and were remanded to the Bahamas Department of Corrections until March 17th. That is when a trial is expected to begin. Still on news from the crime beat, 4 Haitian nationals were arraigned before Deputy Chief Magistrate Debbie Ferguson this week on the charges of overstaying. They pleaded guilty and were convicted and fined $3,000 or in default to serve 2 years at the Bahamas Department of Correctional Services. Additional 2 of the migrants were also charged with illegal landing. They pleaded guilty and were convicted and ordered to be deported. Reports say they were found in a home on Hearn Lane And also from the courts, 3 Haitian nationals appearing before Magistrate Charlton Smith charged with illegal landing. They were arraigned and pleaded guilty to the offense. They were convicted and fined $300 each or in default to serve 1 month at the Bahamas Department of Correctional Services. They were found in an apartment on Drake Avenue. Immigration officials say checks confirmed that they entered the country illegally by boat and resided here without legal status. Haitian national G.B.P.A was also arrested by immigration officers when they executed a search warrant at a house in Hannah Hill. Pierre was unable to satisfy officers of her legal status in the country. Pierre admitted to entering the country illegally by boat and remanded here without status ever since. While appearing before Magistrate Charlton Smith, she was cautioned and discharged. Meantime, Bahamian Nathan Alexandria Morley Jr., a boat captain, was convicted of assisting with illegal embarkation. He was convicted and fined $15,000 or in default to serve 2 years at the Bahamas Department of Correctional Services. The charges date back to July of last year when he was apprehended during a joint operation involving the Bahamas Immigration Department and the Royal Bahamas Defense Force. He was identified as the captain of the vessel responsible for attempting to illegally transport a group of 13 mixed nationals comprising of the Chinese, Haitians, Colombians, Jamaicans, and a Lithuanian to the United States. The vessel was interdicted in waters off Grand Bahama while en route to Florida. The other individuals on board were all convicted of illegal embarkation and ordered to be deported. And coming up, look out for color orange on Grand Bahama. We are talking about bright orange bikes. That story straight ahead.